If your mind's running circles again, second guessing every word you said, take a breath, reset your track. You don't need to hold yourself back. Stop overthinking, start connecting, confidence rising.
Okay, has the jingle set in? Has the earworm burrowed its way into your gray matter? If it hasn't yet, it will. Welcome to day 4, episode 4 of Confidence Maxing Live. We're going to be talking about the moon, civilizational confidence, and more. So we're going to start off with a little reading, a little story. Imagine it's August of 1835. You pick up a copy of the New York Sun for a penny on a busy Manhattan street corner. You tuck the 4-page broadsheet under your arm and you head to the shade of a sycamore tree in the park. You unfold it, expecting the usual mix of politics, ship arrivals, and crime reports. But instead, your eye catches the bold headline across the front page. Great astronomical discoveries lately made by Sir John Herschel. It says he has built a telescope so powerful it can peer across 240,000 miles of space and bring the moon's surface into crystal clarity. And what has he seen? Well, you turn the page and keep reading. Lush forests, giant trees, crystal rivers, winding through emerald valleys, herds of strange bison-like creatures with short horns, playful goat-like animals leaping across sapphire cliffs, and then the real shock, intelligent beings. 4-foot-tall humanoids with copper-colored hair, graceful wings stretching out from their shoulders to their ankles. Vespertilio Homo, the Batmen. You lower the paper for a moment, blinking in the August sunlight. Half the city seems to be talking about it already. Could it be true? The moon is inhabited? You shake your head and turn the page and keep reading, never suspecting that you've just bought the first installment of the greatest newspaper hoax the world has ever seen. So, the Great Moon Hoax of 1835. I've got a visual on this as well. So this is a colorized version of a lithograph depicting the Batmen flapping their little wings over an idyllic moonscape that is lush grass and waterfalls. Boy, the 1830s must have been a wild time. You could just make stuff up. It's a good thing that it doesn't happen today. So, our topic for today, it's the moon, but we're also going to talk about civilizational confidence. If you missed it yesterday, the Artemis 2 launched, and it is going to the moon. It's going around the moon, and it's going to loop back around and come back to Earth. One of my favorite reactions is CNN was talking to the crowd and getting some reaction, and there's this kid with a GoPro, and if you haven't seen this, you're in for a treat. If you've got sensitive ears, you best cover them.
Why do you want to be here? Why do you love space? Why do you love being a part of history?
We're going back to the frickin' moon, that's why.
Really? That says it all. We're going back to the effing moon. That's why. It's the first moon mission since 1972. And our big story that we're going to talk about with this is The Verge did a piece. Let's pull it up here. The Artemis moon-based project is legally dubious, and I read the entire piece, and it argues that there was a moon treaty a lunar international law, if you will, that prevents ownership of the moon. And of course, that's not what's being decided. Part of the Artemis's plan, if I understand it correctly, is to see, okay, well, can we get a better look at some of the ice and stuff on the moon? Because if we're going to build a moon base by 2030, then guess what? The people at the moon base are probably going to need something to drink. And so could we feasibly, could we have a way to sort of capture the ice and melt the ice and drink the ice and all that kind of stuff? Basically moon slushies. But this piece, it got me thinking about civilizational confidence and civilizational competence. And so, imagine JFK in the early 60s saying that we're going to go to the moon, and then someone from a publication writing something about like, well, actually, I don't know if that's quite legal to blast off in a rocket. And it got me thinking of a larger point. It's like, in our own personal lives, we need the feeling of confidence, sure. But as I write in this book that's sweeping the nation, Confidence Maxing, as I write in this book, there is no confidence without competence. And so you as a person, if you're trying to improve at a particular skill, guess what? You need the feeling of competence so that you end up feeling confident as a byproduct of that competence. And I think if you zoom way out, I think civilizations need feelings of competence as well. I just saw a video. The person posted it. I think works at A16Z, Andreessen Horowitz, Mark Andreessen's company, and it was a hype video, sure, and it was pretty awesome actually. But it said stuff like, we built the Empire State Building in 410 days, something like that. We went from an idea to the moon in 8 years. And, if the goal is to have a moon base by it's 2026 in 4 years, roughly, then we're not going to get there by bad faith arguments by people that haven't built things. And I say that as a former journalism major. It's very easy to yap, and in fact, that's what I'm doing right here. But I also build things in the time when I'm not yapping, right? And as a matter of fact, this post actually has a community note on it that says the Outer Space Treaty doesn't ban resource extraction, which that was the entire hinge point of the article. So the article 1 from it is free for exploration and use. And so if you encounter anyone in your life that kind of rains on your parade from a perspective of, oh, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, assuming you're not trying to drive a tank on the interstate, right? Because you can't do that. It pays to be wary of the constant naysayers, because on a civilizational level, we need profound feelings of competence to feel confident. I'll argue that if JFK had gotten up and in the early 60s and said, we're going to try real hard to go to the moon, or hopefully we can go to the moon, do you think we would have gotten to the moon? I mean, who's to say? You can't compare something that never happened to something that did happen, but part of it is the vision and the confidence in which you say something. In some ways, I think can actually breathe something into existence that did not exist before. So let's stay on this theme of civilizational competence. So we've got a virtuous and a vicious cycle, and this is true on a civilizational level, in my opinion, and this is also true in your personal life as well. You, as often as you can, you want to trigger virtuous cycles. And what are, I mean, I assume you probably know what virtuous and vicious cycles are, but if you don't, the virtuous cycle, you start a chain of events that spirals you upwards to more competence, more ability, and ultimately more confidence over time. A vicious cycle is you're in the inverse of that, something that makes you feel incompetent, confident, and lessens your ability. And I think that the higher up on the virtuous, vicious spiral you are, the harder it is to go the opposite direction. So if you're all the way at the bottom of a vicious cycle, sure, you can absolutely get back up. You can absolutely get back up, but it's just going to be more difficult. And what makes up the virtuous and the vicious? So every single one of these loops is another rung on that spiral, like we're climbing up one of the old phone cables from the 90s, right? And it's built on many different instances of competence, of, hey, we did this, we did that, we can do this, we can do that. In my opinion, that's what confidence is. It's skills plus reps over time that I write about in my book. And then what emerges on the back end of that is the feeling of like, hey, I know I can do this because I have shown myself frequent proof of my own competence. And so then it's not a guess anymore. It's I have a lot of faith in my ability. And the more you build that, the better you perform. I think this is true on a civilizational level too. If you have journalists or whoever, the yappers, that constantly, it's this weird cross section of sort of bureaucracy and consensusness. I don't even know if that's a word, but like we have to defer to what my hopeful interpretation of what the legal system says about moon-based international law. And so I don't know if we should really be doing this. It's like, no, bro. On a long enough timeline, the sun's going to become a red giant. We need to become a spacefaring species. And the only way to do that is to take big actions, right? It has to happen. And that increases a civilization's confidence. It, in my opinion, even though it's an American mission, I think it improves the world's confidence of like, hey, look at what humanity can do. That's probably good. Defaulting to, oh, well, let's read the bylaws of this particular thing and interpret it in a very specific way. I don't know that that's helping anyone. I don't think it is. And so ask yourself in your life, where can you create virtuous cycles? I think we talked about it a little bit yesterday when we talked about just like having sort of sovereignty or domain over your space. You know, it could be cleaning up your office or organizing your home or doing your yard, whatever it happens to be. Small instances of competence, you know, in the communication front, it's saying hi to your neighbor. It's going on a walk and waving at your neighbors. I mean, I do that all the time. And having the feeling of, hey, I am succeeding in small ways, and that will lead to success in larger ways. And so virtuous cycles beat vicious cycles every single time. So that was our big story for today. I actually scrapped. I've already got tomorrow's show prepared because I scrapped everything I was working on to explore the Great Moon hoax of 1835 and talk about the moon and civilizational confidence. So we'll be talking about some AI stuff tomorrow. And other than that, that's all I got for you. If you like these live streams, I've been enjoying making them. It's been fun prepping the shows and getting ready. If you have feedback for me or questions that you'd like me to answer on a future live stream, you can send them to me at the Jeff Callahan on all social platforms. And other than that, I'm gonna play you out with the jingle that are you humming it while you're doing dishes? I know I am, and soon everybody will. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow.
If your mind's running circles again, second guessing every word you said, take a breath, reset your